What is the difference between thinking and not thinking? What is the difference between what is a thought and what is not a thought? Taking up this investigation alone can lead you through awakening and into deepening stages of realization if you really stick to it, if you really work at this with discernment. So start now. Take inventory of what's going on in the mind right now. What are the thoughts saying? Is the mind quiet? Or is there a narrative? The chatter of thought. It might feel like your thought. It might feel like your internal narrative, your chatter. So just pay attention to that. Notice it just as it is now. What thought is arising now? The mere act of turning your attention inward in this way is a powerful act. Sustaining that attention inward is a transformative act. So what is the thought? Is it a thought about how you're feeling? Is it a thought trying to analyze what I'm saying? A thought saying that you understand or don't understand? Or perhaps it's a thought comparing what I'm saying to some other spiritual terminology you've learned, or even to a past experience or a practice you utilize. Just one thought. What happens when you look closely at that thought? You just stop right there. What happens when you don't move in regard to the arising thought? Full interest, full attention. Is it moving or still? Or maybe it's a little of both. But just keep your attention there in the thought space. Be curious about the next arising thought. Be curious about how the mind moves. We're not reacting to thoughts. We're not believing thoughts. We're not trying to discount thoughts. We're not trying to transcend thoughts. Full interest in whatever the substance of the mind is right now. The thinking space, the knowing space. Just follow that. The contours, the textures. If the thoughts start to get away from you, chattering on, notice that is the next thought. Just that. It's as if the lens of consciousness has opened 360 degrees. Whatever thought starts to stir, wherever thought starts to stir, we're already aware of it. We're already fully alert. Above, below, in front, behind. Wherever thought starts to stir, we're already there. Attention is already there. Alertness is already there. It's a bit like a dance of attention with consciousness. But the key is being interested in what thought actually is, being alert, and being flexible of mind and attention. This is the dance of immersive consciousness. But don't think about that. Don't label that. Any label that arises, such as thought, consciousness, awakening. These are just thoughts. Be with that thought fully. Feel how it moves. But keep the lens of attention wide open, the aperture of attention wide open. Notice that anywhere, anything that stirs in this conscious space, it stirs within us. It stirs as us. The being, the sense of I or self, is fluidly and completely immersed in and as the conscious space, the knowing space. So a thought is nothing but a fluctuation in this space. It might feel like it's in one place, and it might feel like it's in many places at once. But that's okay, because we're fully alert and we're in contact with all space, all knowing space, all being space. This is the practice. This is the practice of consciousness. Keep the aperture wide open. Keep the alertness and interest at 100%. Notice the subtle. Notice the gross. Notice the movements. Notice the stillness. Don't separate yourself at all. Don't go unconscious. And don't purposely go down a mind road. Just remain alert and neutral. This is the ocean. This is every wave. The ocean and all the waves are not two. They're one being, one knowingness.